Okay, so I'm making some ingots right now, and I wanted to share with you some things that I've tried. I tried this little pan. This happens to be a little pan that I bought at Home Depot, and it had a magnet on the bottom. It was used for holding screws and stuff. It makes some pretty good ingots. They're a little bit large though. I mean, if you look at my hand in relation to the ingots, they're a little bit large. They probably wouldn't fit very well in one of the furnaces. The next thing I tried was a muffin pan. Makes a very nice sized ingot, but some of them get stuck and they won't, you have a hard time getting them out. And if you look at the muffin pan over here, it broke three of them. I mean, I just bought this thing like 10 minutes ago and it already knocked 3 things out. It's because the way they make it, they put them in here. They're not one solid piece of metal. They're just kind of set in there. So they make a very nice sized ingot, but like I said, I have trouble with them sticking. So I thought, well, maybe I'll try a tuna can. Well, let's see what happened here. Tuna can? Nah. This is the result of a tuna can. I had to rip that thing out. It's too thin and it bends too easily. Kind of the same thing with the muffin pan. So I have an idea and I'll be sharing that with you. Okay, right now I have a piece of angle iron. It's 1.25 inches by 1/8 inch thick by 2 feet long. I also have 1.25 inches by 1/8 thick by 2 foot long flat iron. The flat iron and the angle iron I picked up at my local hardware store. This flat iron I think I paid $4.50, and this angle iron I paid right around $6. I think it was $5.99. So they're both 2 feet long, and I know that RCBS and Lee and I think Lyman, they all make ingot molds. But I'm going to make my own. This is total, I think I paid less than $11. So I'm choosing to go this route because I think it's going to be a lot more heavy duty than what they offer, than those molds that you could buy. So I'll take you through the process of what I'm going to do with this steel, and then I'll show you what the ingots look like. So hope you like this. We'll talk to you in a minute. Okay, so I cut this angle iron in 5-inch sections. And right now I'm just kind of taking a little grinder, just kind of cleaning up the edges so they're not too sharp. Just trying to clean it up a little bit. Using my little Makita 7-volt cordless grinder. Works really good. I don't even know if you can get this tool anymore. I've had it for years. And also make sure you got your safety glasses on when you're doing this stuff. You got metal sparks flying everywhere. I like this grinder because it's a little bit slower RPM. It's a lot easier. It's very light. It works good for light duty projects. I guess the battery lasts about 10 minutes. It's a 7-volt. I've had this tool. Let's see, it was made in, gosh, 93 it looks like. So it's an old tool, but it works really good. So I have the 4 pieces, 5 inches long. My next step is going to be weld them to this, but I got to measure first and see how long. I'm basically going to lay them down something like this, and then I'm going to measure how long it needs to be, this piece here. I'll just cut 2 of them. Looks like 7 inches a piece could do it. Come in here. 7, 14. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces out of this flat iron, 7 inches long. Okay, I'm back. I have these 2 pieces. They're cut 7-inch length. Do the same thing. I'm going to just kind of deburr it a little bit. Get rid of the rough edges, and this is going to make my basic ingot mold. So it's going to look It's going to look something like this. I have a couple pieces left over, and I might figure out some sort of handle or something with these two pieces, but for now I'm just going to weld this stuff together. So I'll do some welding and I'll get right back. Well, that's the start of it. Now I got to do some fine-tune welding and just kind of finish it up. I just have it tacked together right now, but finish up the welding and we'll be ready to go. So right now I filled all the holes on this side, on this bottom side, and because I don't want lead to leak in these areas when I go to pour my ingots, so I filled all those holes this side here. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side here. I'm going to fill all those cavities out so I don't have any lead leaking. now I believe I have all the cavities full, or excuse me, sealed. So I'm going to just pour a little water in there and see if they hold water. And I'll just wait a few minutes and we'll see how much water they have in them, if they're leaking or if they're holding. So here we are, we're looking at our mold. It's about 10 minutes later and they're holding water for the most part, so they're still pretty full of water. And if they can hold water this long, that definitely tells me that lead won't get through, because it's thicker than water. So I'm happy with that. So we'll go ahead and pour this water out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little piece here and I'm going to attach it something like that and make a little handle. So I'm just going to weld it right there, make a little handle, and then I'll probably take this strap on the back side here and weld it. And what that'll do is that'll make one more cavity if I wanted to get like a half an ingot or something like that. In fact, I might do that here too, and then I might just weld the handle on top of it or something. So I'll show you what I'm going to be doing here soon. I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay, I decided to put the handle right here because I don't want it to interfere with when I flip this over to knock the ingots out. So right here I think is a good spot for the handle. Handle right there. Flip it over. I'm thinking about filling up the tops of these little areas here so that if I wanted to put lead in the bottom upside down I could, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think there's a need for it. I think I'll leave it just like that and I think we'll call it good. What I'll do now is I'll finish I'll finish welding this little seam here. And after this I'll take a little grinder to it and kind of polish up the edges so there's nothing sharp. I might take this, but you know what, I don't think I will. I think I'm happy right there where it is. So I think that's what it's going to be right there. It would be nice if I had another little maybe handle like this so that I could flip it over from either side. So I might do that. I might cut this piece here and I might just kind of weld it right here. That way I can flip it over from either side. So that's what I'm going to do. So I have a little piece here. Just going to set it right there and I'm going to give it a little tack real quick. Just to hold it. Now I'll go ahead and weld it on. There we go. Flip it up and I'm going to weld inside because I don't want all these big burrs on the outside. I want it to be fairly flat when I flip it. So I'll put my weld inside the channel. And I believe that'll be good for me. I think that'll be it. I think we have an ingot mold now. Let it cool down a little bit. From here, I'll just take it over to the grinder and I'll get rid of the rough edges, but other than that, we're done. Okay, now I'm going to take the mold, and again I'm going to get the hammer and make sure there's no burrs inside from the welding. I don't want the lead to stick to anything, so I'm just kind of making sure that everything is okay inside. Get rid of those little small small stuff that'll make it stick. I'm just trying to remove them because I don't want my lead getting in there getting stuck to anything. So anything, even if it's very insignificant, I'm still trying to get rid of it. That's why I didn't do any welding on the inside here, because I don't want anything to have any chance of sticking. Lead to come out nice. The bottom side, I could care less. Now I'm just going to do a little fine-tuning grinding, get these areas a little soft so they're not going to be sharp. Don't want to cut anybody or anything on them. Like I said, this is just a very light duty grinder. It's not nothing heavy duty or nothing, but it will take those burrs off. And I'm probably about running out of battery, but almost done with this project anyway. Have to do anything major because majority of the time that we're going to be dealing with ingots, we're going to have gloves on anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. Just a very small touch going into that. That's really about all we need to do right there. So that's the finished product. Just a small little ingot mold. Something that we can pour our lead into these cavities. Let it dry. We have our little handle here that I made so that we can flip it over, knock them out. On the back there's a lot of little impurities and stuff, little from the welding. I'm not too concerned about that though. And inside this is where I made my bead. Now I'm not the best welder in the world, but that'll work for me. For any of you who were wondering what kind of welder I was using, I've been using a Lincoln Electric Weld Pack 100. It's a good little welder. I use it for up to about 1/4 inch steel, and it works great. So if you were just curious what kind of welder, I like it because it runs on 110 volt. You can plug it in a household. Okay, I've had them sitting here for a few minutes. The reason this is high on here is so that when I flip them over, they don't hit flush. Hopefully they'll come out. If I try to take them out too soon, while they're still soft in the middle, they might break in half. So hopefully I'll let them sit long enough. Looks like I got them coming loose. There's 3 anyway. This last one, I'll just get my spoon over here. There we go. I have 4 nice ingots. Now I have a bucket of water on the floor. I'm going to take them very quickly and drop them down in there. Let them cool. Don't handle them too long because these gloves are thin. They will get hot. Okay, my mold's ready. I'm going to go ahead and pour some more. Again, warm this spatula up, or excuse me, this ladle up. You don't want it too cold. So let it get in there for a few minutes. Hit the flame a little bit. And that should be plenty right there. Try not to get this stuff all splashing everywhere. If I had a cast iron ladle, I could probably pour 2 at a time because it would stay hot enough. Let's see what happens here. I didn't have enough. Get a little more. And again, we'll wait 5 minutes or something, let them cool.